Life is not always an easy journey. We all face challenges, difficulties, losses. Sometimes they seem insurmountable, but every difficulty, every setback, every moment of pain holds great potential for growth and change. When we are struggling, when we feel like the whole world is against us, it's important to remember one thing. It's not the end. It is only the beginning of a new path that we choose for ourselves. Choice in how we respond to difficult situations is our key to strength and growth. Difficulties as teachers. When you face difficulties, they become our teachers. This is not always easy to accept because our first instinct is to protect ourselves, to avoid pain, to run away from problems. But if we stop and listen, we begin to realize that difficulties offer us new opportunities. By going through pain, we can learn patience, resilience, forgiveness, and most importantly, we learn to accept life as it is. We begin to see that difficulties are not a punishment, but an opportunity to change ourselves and our lives. One of the most difficult things in life is learning to accept your pain. When we experience loss, disappointment, or the collapse of our plans, our first reaction is denial. We try not to feel, not to think about what is happening. But avoiding pain doesn't make it less painful. On the contrary, it only lengthens the suffering. Acceptance is not about giving up. Acceptance is the realization that pain and hardship are part of the human experience. It is the ability to look at your emotions and experiences and accept them. Pain, like joy, is a temporary state, and as difficult as it is for us, we can experience that moment and come out of it stronger. Learn to forgive ourselves. One of the biggest obstacles to inner peace is our inability to forgive ourselves. We often burden ourselves with guilt, thinking that we could have done things differently. However, it's important to remember that the moment you made a decision, you did so based on the experience and knowledge you had. And now that you have been through the situation, you are smarter and stronger for it. Forgiving yourself is not about forgetting what happened. It's about freeing yourself from the weight. It allows you to move on and build a better life without getting stuck in the past. Stoicism is a philosophy that teaches us an important truth. Not everything in our lives is controllable. This is one of the most difficult but useful thoughts we can learn. Striving to control everything that happens around us leads to stress and frustration. But in Stoicism, the emphasis is on the importance of controlling our thoughts and emotions, not external circumstances. Realizing that we cannot change external events, but we can change our attitude towards them, helps us learn to live in harmony with ourselves. It doesn't matter what is happening around us, it matters how we react to it. Practicing Stoicism in life. For the Stoics, it was important to understand that every event is part of nature. It is something that happens regardless of our desire. It is up to us how we respond to these events. The Stoics taught us discipline and inner freedom. They believed that we can choose how we perceive what happens and how we respond to it. When you are faced with a difficulty, instead of complaining or getting annoyed, stop and think about what it is about the situation that you can change. Maybe it's your attitude toward the problem. Maybe you will learn something new that will help you grow. One of the most powerful ways to cope with difficulties is to take action. When we are struggling, we often stand still because we are afraid that our action will lead to failure. But there is power in action. Even if you're not sure if your step will be successful, it's important to move forward. Taking a step is already a victory. When you take action, you give yourself a chance to make a difference. Not only that, but you develop courage and confidence because each step forward, regardless of the outcome, builds your self-confidence. Don't be afraid of failure. Failure is not the end. It is just a part of the journey. We cannot learn without mistakes. Instead of avoiding mistakes, we need to see them as an opportunity for growth. Failure is not a defeat, but only a lesson to help you become a better person.